We have been talking quite a lot about average speed of an object in motion. In this video, we're going to look at two of the most common misconceptions that the students have about average speed. The example that we're going to consider is of a car moving in a straight line between 2 points A and B. Suppose that the car covers the first quarter or the first 25% of the path in 30 minutes, second quarter of the path again in 30 minutes, third quarter in 45 minutes, and the fourth quarter in 60 minutes. Let the total path between A and B be 240 kilometers. So if we divide 240 into quarters, then the length of each quarter will be 60 kilometers. That's all that's been given to us. The car travelled first 60 kilometers in 30 minutes, the next 60 kilometers also in 30 minutes, this 60 kilometers in 45 minutes, and finally it covers 60 kilometers in 60 minutes. Now let's look at this path first. Can you tell me the speed at which this car travelled from this point to this point? Yes, the speed of a car was 2 kilometers per minute. We calculated it by using this formula. But is this speed a constant speed? It means that if I further divide this path into smaller paths, then does that mean the speed on each smaller path was 2 kilometers per minute only? Well, the simple answer is that we don't know whether speed along this path was constant or not. Speed may or may not have been constant. The only thing that we're told is that the object covered 60 kilometers in 30 minutes. It does not mean that it covered 2 kilometers every minute. Or in other words, speed along this path may or may not be constant. So we cannot say that this speed is constant. What is the speed then? Yes, it's an average speed. The car travelled at an average speed of 2 kilometers per minute along this path. This is one of the misconceptions about an average speed that lots of students have. They think of average speed as the speed which is constant throughout the path. However, it may or may not be constant. So we now know the average speed along this path was 2 kilometers per minute. On the same lines, 2 kilometers per minute, 1.33 kilometers per minute, and 1 kilometer per minute were the average speeds along these three paths. Now let me ask you something tricky. Can you tell me the average speed of the car along the complete path from A to B? Pause the video and give it a thought. Can we say that the average speed is the mean of all the values of average speeds over each individual path? This will be the arithmetic mean or the mean of these values. Is this result the average speed over the complete path though? This is a common mistake that students make. This is not the average speed. This is the average of speeds as we're taking the average of each individual value of speed over the smaller paths. Average of speeds is not the same as average speed. What is the average speed then? Average speed is simply the total distance the object covers over the total time it takes to cover that distance. What is the total distance here? Yes, it equals to 240 kilometers. And the total time is 30 plus 30 plus 45 plus 60, which equals 165 minutes. Now, if I divide these two, I will get an average speed of around 1.4545 kilometers per minute approximately. Now compare the two values. Are they the same? Definitely not. This value is different from this one. This is the average speed while this one is not. This is the average of speeds and this is just an average speed. There is a difference between the two. This is the second misconception that most students have. They think that average speed is the mean of speeds over smaller paths. So these are the two common misconceptions about average speed that quite a few students have.